If you haven't seen the previous video in this series, follow the link on your screen or click the link in the description or pinned comment below.
After 1 minute and 12 seconds of logos, another 12 seconds of credits are dedicated to those same studios.
I wonder why you think this is relevant information to us, Jer. Do you think we, the audience, care about the length of the intro to a movie? I mean, some of us are still getting popcorn at the concessions, especially at a Regal theater, because for some reason they take an hour to process a simple order like Pepsi and a medium popcorn. Look, it's October 2013. Nobody cares about the length of these things. Unless, of course, in, say, 10 years from now, there was a movie starring David Dastmalchian doing a late-night TV show, and they had logo lengths that were, I don't know, 1 minute and 44 seconds or something.
Let's get started.
Is this movie saying that the world is so obsessed with Wendy Williams and the Real Housewives of Miami that we didn't pay attention to the environmental warning signs?
Well, yeah, as a species, we're kinda stupid. We're obsessed with reality TV and don't care about the environment. I mean, just look at the Republican Party. But the one bone I'll throw the Republicans is that they would never be stupid enough to nominate a reality TV star. They're definitely smarter than that.
Kids jump on sleeping parents' beds, so we know this is a loving family cliche.
Sounds like Jeremy is jealous he didn't get to jump on his dad's morning wood.
This truck literally comes out of nowhere. It's nowhere behind the cop when he drives up to Jerry, and it makes no sound before it smashes into him.
The sound thing is a movie trope, as they intended for this to be a jump scare. Giving you the sound of the truck approaching ruins the effect. I'll give you the truck materializing instantaneously thing, but they later show that same truck cutting through cars like they were butter anyway, so that's a possible explanation.
Shaky cam is shaky.
What's wrong with shaky cam? If the intention of the filmmakers is to disorient the audience and make them feel like the characters in the movie, that it was effective deserves a sin removal, no?
Zombies are fast cliche. Wait.
I don't get that at all. Would you mind clarifying?
Somehow during all this commotion trying to get his daughters to safety, Jerry focuses on one random zombie act in the middle of the whole city of mayhem.
Well, yeah, watching the scene, it's the closest actual zombie attack to the protagonist. They've been wondering what's going on, and they see, relatively closely, what the cause for the mayhem is.
Get to the RV!
How in the fuck does this RV not get taken by, the other 1,000 people running around the street?
We've already established most people are stupid, but in this case they might have been justified, as a large truck came through here like a bat out of hell, and an RV would be a sitting duck for a semi. It's actually a sin that this works.
It's a wonder that the previous owners abandoned this RV, considering there are absolutely no cars in front of it while Jerry drives it.
Those two things have no correlation. The owners of the RV likely got out of their car like literally everyone else did when the outbreak happened. Logic would then dictate that they got chased off or killed by zombies, thus empty RV.
Discount Inception music.
Our first pop culture reference that's not an actual sin of this movie.
Movie rips off the kid has asthma to add dramatic tension thing from Signs. And Goonies. And...
Or asthma is a very common disability that millions of people suffer from, so it's not at all unusual for it to appear in a film. What's next? You're going to tell us a video game based on a place where you have to be quiet, can't have a character with asthma too?
Why do vehicles always have trouble starting during zombie apocalypses?
Probably has something to do with those cars usually being old. You'll notice the characters never drive a late model car, like the brand new Model S that Tesla Motors just introduced. Invest in that stock. Just an FYI.
Movie simulates post-apocalyptic Newark with stock footage of regular Newark.
Hey, that's racist. Gotham City is a wonderful place full of wonderful people, and I will not have you besmirching the good name of the... I'm just kidding. Jersey's a shithole.
I don't even know too many grocery stores that have motor oil for sale, much less located near the dairy section. But anything that's convenient for our hero to lean up against during a gunfight, I guess.
Didn't we just establish that this is New Jersey? I don't think I need to elaborate any further.
I got it in my mouth.
That's what she said.
There's no way you just did a "that's what she said" joke in the year of our Lord 2013. If you could just not, that would be great.
Water? I'll organize.
Just like a bureaucrat to need to organize the delivery of drinking water to 4 people.
That's racist. Jamaicans are people too. They have a bobsled team, for Christ's sake.
Well, shit. If the fate of the world is in the hands of the guy that caused the Skynet Judgment Day event, then we're all fucked.
Oh look, another pop culture non-sin. Next.
One of the first main characters to die during the zombie outbreak movie dies by slipping on metal. It's a zombie movie, guys. If you want to take out the doctor guy and leave Brad Pitt on his own to deal with the mission, that's okay. I'm cool with that. Just maybe have him get taken out by a zombie, like this other soldier here does, instead of something absolutely stupid.
I would argue that this is the movie being pretty realistic. You would think in something as incredibly hectic as a zombie outbreak that people don't only die from zombies, but also from their own stupidity, as we have already established is a thing. I mean, at least they're not set up at a farm for an entire season.
Tooth pulling.
Sinning dentists. What are you, British?
Fucking Sprint.
And that's why I have T-Mobile.
Even though 3 of those turn off your cell phone commercials played before this movie, asshole Jerry still leaves his on during this sound-sensitive trek to the plane.
And that's why I have T-Mobile.
But okay, let's assume every country in the world is stupid. If Israel was indeed the only country to figure this out, then how did they build a zombie wall in time around a city that is 125 square kilometers? And why didn't they share information with everyone else? Why didn't they send video and photos to the world, like to the internet, and say, hey, look, there's fucking zombies everywhere. You might want to do something about this.
That was a lot of questions. Most of them are answered by the film itself, where Jurgen explains that they intercepted a communication from the Indian army that spoke about the zombies. They simply took that threat seriously. As for why they didn't warn anyone else, that criticism applies to India too, as that's where they got the information from. But ask yourself, you get told there are zombies in the streets, are you really taking that seriously without having seen it yourself?
So wait, behind this wall, there's always a bunch of commotion. Buses driving in, helicopters flying overhead, but it's the singing that makes the zombies form this zombie pyramid to scale the wall? What is this, the Walking Dead hero who?
They must have heard the Palestinians and the Israelis getting along finally. The zombies, like the US government, didn't like that.
How did this zombie get on this plane?
He went through the ISA.
Jerry just watched these things scale a gigantic wall, and yet he still wastes precious time and effort building a suitcase fort to try and keep them out.
Well, the alternative is letting them come into first class unabated. Trust me, you don't want the poors using the first class bathroom. I mean the zombies. Nice save. Is the mic still on?
You know what this place is?
Of course I do. That's why I'm here.
Then you understand how this must look to us.
Huh? This guy has been lying unconscious for 3 days, never once showed a hint of becoming a zombie, and you're scared of what he might do for what reason again?
They're suspicious of him being a spy or a saboteur. Have you learned nothing from The Walking Dead? And no, I don't mean it's okay to f*** your friend's wife.
I'm sorry, Jerry. I did what I could.
I know this is tough news, but is it so hard to complete this sentence? Can't you just say that you had to kick his family off the boat like a bunch of dogs instead of leaving him hanging?
These people are friends. He's not trying to rip the Band-Aid off. He's putting on the KY jelly and slowly, ever so gently, putting it in. You know, like friends are supposed to.
I'm sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for, Jerry. We all heard that dude mislead you into the "you can't possibly know how I feel" cliche.
I really doubt Jerry can hear you, Jeremy.
That's the boat.
We can make it.
No, we can't.
56964.
So wait a minute, they didn't bother to give everyone the code just in case this very thing happened?
Well, yeah, they went with a guide. Getting split up was something they didn't think was likely to happen, given there's a soldier with a gun and all 3 of them have weapons. If they got split up, the mission was likely to fail anyway.
And when Jerry goes into the room, he has no idea what he's looking for? And somehow they went on this mission without Jerry's suddenly working phone or a walkie-talkie, which they clearly have. But hey, I guess anything to make the mission harder so it's more dramatic for the audience, right?
They specifically went in without things that could make noise, as the film makes it a point to show them sneaking and avoiding making noise, as noise attracts the zombies. A walkie-talkie in this environment would be very loud, even at a low volume, and you risk audio feedback, the volume of which you cannot control.
But okay, let's assume that everyone is dumb and or there are no communication devices whatsoever. There isn't an intercom in this place, just in case there's an emergency or something?
There literally is. You showed it on screen a second ago. This is a room within a room, and that exterior room already has a phone. Why, in a normal circumstance, would you need another communication device when you could just step outside?
It seems like once they found out the zombies were attracted to the noise, they could have just dropped stereos blaring Creed into stadiums like this all around the world and just blow them up.
Well, then you'd risk popularizing Creed with the humans that use the music to win the zombie war, and we don't need anyone popularizing Creed now, do we?